Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Twilight Eclipse. So in this one, I'm really looking forward to even more world building. Hopefully we learn even more about the Volturi. That was really interesting. Learning about Arrow, Caius and Jane. Hopefully we can learn what like Caius's power is as well, because we haven't learned that. And there was that third guy also sitting on the throne. I didn't quite catch his name, what kind of powers he has. That'll be really interesting. And then of course the Jedward conflict. That was one of my favorite moments from the last film, was when Jacob and Edward had that like standoff. So I'm hoping that gets explored a bit more. And of course we're going into like a wedding potentially, because Edward proposed. I actually can't remember if we saw what Bella's reaction to that was actually. Did she actually say yes? I'm not 100% sure. She could have turned him down actually, for all I know. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. There could be a time skip to the wedding, or does the wedding take place in this movie, or does it take place later on? I hope the stakes continue to rise, because that seems to be the way it's going. And I'm wondering if any of Bella's friends will find out about everything, find out about the werewolves and the vampires, or will the entire world know eventually, you know? Because it seemed like Edward, he was about to reveal himself to the world. I don't know if that news would have spread to the world if he had actually revealed himself there. But these people in Italy, they seem to know, but it might have just been a celebration that's more of a tradition now than it is to actually celebrate vampires not being there. Do they just do it as a celebration, you know, to keep the tradition up? So before we jump into this one, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access, so you can get Breaking Dawn Part 1 right now. You can also find polls, so you can vote for what's next. What movie series should follow this? I'm thinking maybe like the Lord of the Rings trilogy or Maze Runner, something along those lines. I have seen Lord of the Rings before, but it's been a long time, and I was thinking of doing the extended editions potentially. And over on the Patreon you can also find a timer-based version of this, so you can watch along with me if there's anything in the YouTube edit that was cut out that you wanted to see. I'm watching this on Netflix, so you know if you want to sync it up. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Of course, starting off with an attack. Okay, who is this though? A new vampire or someone we know? It's quite a public place to be doing this actually. Those people could have seen.
What do you want?
Oh, are they not killing him? They're converting him? Okay, that's interesting. So whoever this is, maybe they're going around converting more people? Is this guy gonna show up again later as a vampire then? My immediate thought is like someone going around converting a bunch of people to like build an army. That's a really interesting concept actually.
Marry me.
No.
So she said no and she's still saying no?
Change me.
It's like his condition to change her is to get married, and her condition to get married is to change her.
Edward is in my life.
Yeah, I'm gathering that.
I'm still worried for Charlie, just because, you know, even if Bella gets converted, he's still a weak point in her life.
You use your newfound freedom to see some of your other friends too.
Yeah, she's spending way too much time with Edward.
He's going through a really tough time right now. His dad's really worried about him.
But the reason Jacob's going through a tough time is because of her, isn't it?
You needed a friend. Jake was there.
I wanted to fix it. He wouldn't give me the chance.
Okay, yeah, so he's not allowing it to be fixed. Oh, if the car's broken down, is that an excuse to go talk to him? Because he's the mechanic.
Hey, did you do this to my truck?
Bella, you have to understand. Your safety is everything to me.
Jake.
He's just so overbearing, isn't he?
Hey! Just in time. All right, check it out. All right, just see.
And he's hanging out with them, he's on their table too.
This will be my speech when I want everyone to throw diplomas at my head. So, thank you.
Oh, is she doing like the end of year speech or something? She's a valedictorian, okay, yeah.
I've decided to throw a party.
Oh, they're all on the same table together, okay, that's cool.
I've never seen your house.
No one's ever seen their house.
And they're gonna go see the lovely house. Can Jasper control himself a bit better this time though? Is she seeing something or what? That seems to really affect her.
I know you know what she saw. Tell me.
It was nothing.
What did she see?
I've been tracking the situation in Seattle for a while. If the situation gets any more conspicuous, the Volturi will step in.
If they go to Seattle, they could come here. They could see I'm still human.
We won't get that far.
Okay, I don't know how close they are to Seattle, where Forks is, like, in the country comparison. So the Volturi could be involved again soon.
Round trip ticket to see Mom in Florida.
Well,
Oh, okay.
generous.
It expires soon, so you might want to use it this week.
Is that an excuse for Seattle instead of Florida?
Wait, there's 2 tickets?
Well, the mom has to meet the boyfriend as well eventually.
I'm just saying, if you go to the University of Alaska, I'm never gonna see you.
So she wants to go to Alaska. Makes sense.
The way he watches you. It's like he's willing to leap in front of you and take a bullet or something.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. He can be bad, but it's overbearing.
These all our old trip t-shirts?
Mm-hmm. Get out.
Oh, like made into like a blanket.
Figured, you know, when you get older, have kids, we can add to it. Maybe go visit the world's largest ketchup bottle or something.
Yeah, can vampires have kids? We've only seen them turn people into vampires after they're born. We haven't seen one that was like born from a vampire, I guess.
Are you sure this is where you saw her?
She's almost here.
Someone's coming. Is it Victoria? She's still a loose thread. Yeah, it looks like her. Looks like red hair there.
She's in their territory.
She'll get away!
And they can't get into the territory, of course. Yeah, they really have to be careful about what territory they're in, don't they? And she's being hunted by both sides. I'm surprised they can't like make a temporary pact to say you can swap territories while hunting her, you know? Because it's like a common enemy.
Emmett, no!
Oh, Emmett's gonna cross over. Emmett's really booking it. I feel like they need to focus more on her than their pact, you know? It just means tensions are high, or it seems like they've always been high.
It's really hard saying goodbye.
It doesn't have to be goodbye.
Yeah, was that the last goodbye before she gets changed?
I asked you to stay in the car, would you?
What's happening? Is it Jacob confronting because Emmett crossed the line? That music cue as he turned around.
She is the one the redhead wants.
Victoria? Alice's vision.
Did Alice see like Victoria killing her or something, so they went away to get her away from it? I feel like because Bella knows people on both sides, she could potentially be the one to like form a diplomatic situation here, you know? Find a neutral meeting place and people can talk it out. She's like the common connection.
It's him I don't trust.
He trusts Bella, but he should trust her instinct, I guess, you know?
I'm really sorry about your father.
If you're here to torture Jacob some more, feel free to leave.
So when did Leah join the pack?
Leah definitely has it out against Bella, doesn't she?
We all have to live the Leah, Sam, Emily pain fest. Wolf telepathy, remember?
Oh, so they all communicate.
Sam hates himself for hurting Leah.
So there was a triangle in the past, and now they're in a triangle.
Imprinting on someone is like when you see her, everything changes.
So you imprint on someone and you've got almost like a connection.
Have you imprinted on someone?
Yes, he done it with Bella.
You'd know if I had.
Does it go both ways? She would feel the same way back? It's interesting that the wolf pack, they have this almost like hive mind. They can share each other's thoughts.
I decided this, not him.
Bella, they're not even alive. Better you really be dead than one of them.
Tension's really building, isn't it? It's harder for him to like keep himself composed, keep his emotions in check though, isn't it? Oh, this is the guy from right at the start, isn't it? Does he know about Bella?
Do you understand how worried I've been?
I was perfectly safe.
I almost broke the treaty to make sure that
I know I smell like a dog. I'm sorry.
something's wrong.
He can smell that this other guy was here.
I didn't recognize his scent.
A nomad passing through.
A passerby wouldn't have left Belle's father.
Yeah, he left the dead alive for a reason.
It has to be the Volturi.
I don't think it's the Volturi either.
This is tied to the stuff in Seattle, right?
You can't protect me, watch my dad, and search for the intruder.
And for Victoria.
Too much happening. Go get protection from Jacob. See, yeah, they need to work together, exactly.
It'll be hard to miss when we cross it again. We'll handle it from here.
We don't need you to handle anything.
Noticing his eyes, they're not yellow again. Is it something to do, do they have contacts to like seem more natural or what?
But it wasn't about rivalry anymore. It was about my safety and Charlie's.
Yeah, they need to put the rivalry past them.
It wasn't exactly an easy alliance.
Yeah. So this other guy, he must know who Bella is somehow.
Doesn't he own a shirt?
Don't rush. You need to hunt.
I don't know who's better at hunting. It seemed like the wolves were better at hunting down the vampires. And does this treaty now mean that they can go into the territory as well?
Technically, you're a council meeting, Crasher.
Oh, it's a council meeting, not a party.
I mean, they thought it would be good for you to hear the histories.
Okay, so it's not a meeting about her. I thought it would be something like that.
But you are the first outsider.
First outsider to ever hear one of their stories. Is there possibility for like a hybrid as well if a vampire bit a werewolf? Would that happen?
They lived in fear. The cold man was not alone. They were right.
Yeah, of course. Cycle of vengeance, yeah.
The third wife was no magical being. No special powers but one.
Oh. Oh, to attract with the blood? She sacrificed herself.
Over time, our enemies have disappeared. One remains. Cold ones.
Over time our enemies have disappeared. Is that a reference to like even more creatures?
Something terrible is coming, and we must all be ready.
If they all have these like shared pack thoughts, surely some of the younger kids would know the stories? Yeah, look at this, quite a big group of them. Oh, what? That guy's just like shattered. So there's like this group that's expanding, but there's like infighting.
In the first few months after the change.
That's when we're at our most uncontrollable, vicious.
Yeah, we saw that with Jasper. He was struggling to control it.
But this isn't random.
Someone's creating an army.
Yeah, exactly. Look how Emmett, he kind of wants this, kind of wants the fight though. That could be dangerous.
The Volturi will. I'm surprised they let it go on this long.
Maybe they're behind it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. So Arrow's building an army potentially. You know, the more people you convert, the more powers everyone has. So you can just convert mass amounts of people and be like, hey, you've got a good power, you join. You've got a good power, you join.
I have to figure out what to tell people. Why I won't be home for Christmases.
Yeah, how to explain that she's just disappearing.
After a few decades, everyone you know will be dead.
That's not as comforting as he's trying to be.
You believe I have a soul, and I don't.
How can he be in love with her if he doesn't have a soul, you know? Surely that's like kind of proof that he has a soul.
You'll always be my Bella. My Bella, just less fragile.
Is he coming around to it then?
So, Alice has planned a big graduation party, which you're invited to.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. Going into a vampire house, into the Cullen's house. He's too intense.
Go blather to someone else about the joys of becoming a newborn.
Why is she just constantly antagonistic?
Bella, I envy you.
The way that she's being treated, or envy her for still being a human?
You have a choice. I didn't.
She never actually chose to do this. Maybe this could be quite persuasive actually, because she's kind of coming from an outside perspective.
To
to be married with a nice house and a husband to kiss me when he came home.
She can still find a husband, but yeah, there are some things that she can't do.
I was in love with the idea of love.
Yeah, she was in love with the idea of him rather than the actual him.
I'm back. Hey, don't do this.
And are they gonna kill her or like really injure her?
They left me in the street thinking I was dead.
Yeah, and Carlisle saved her. So she would have rather just died at that moment.
I got my revenge on them. Saved Royce for last so he'd know I was coming.
Oh, she shows up in a wedding dress. What a girl boss.
Back then. Things got better after I found Emmett. But we'll always be this.
I don't know what her relationship with Emmett is like. It feels like, I don't know, we never really see much affection between them. And she seems embarrassed by him sometimes with like how boyish he is.
Emmett, gray-haired by my side, surrounded by our grandchildren.
She just wants a life with Emmett.
There's nothing I'm ever gonna want.
Yeah, that's not what Bella wants. But as she ages, surely she'll start to want that kind of lifestyle even more.
Something's coming. We're all going to die.
Is he starting to gain more control because he's like kind of no longer a newborn because he's been transformed for a whole year? He's the guy who's missing, right? It's hard to know because he doesn't really look as much like himself in that wanted poster.
They've already drawn too much attention.
So as our inaction, others may begin to question the Volturi's effectiveness.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Maybe we should consult with Arrow.
Arrow's decisions are being watched.
His decisions are being watched. What does that mean? Someone even higher up? Or people are starting to become doubtful of the Volturi?
This isn't the time to make hard and fast decisions. This is the time to make mistakes. Take the wrong train and get stuck somewhere. Fall in love.
Oh, this is hitting her. Yeah, this is the time to make. Don't make rash decisions. Everyone's finally seeing the Cullens' house as well. Mostly hard for them having all of these humans in their house now. Is Jacob actually gonna be here, I wonder? Ah, he showed up.
Was my right hook too subtle for you? That was me uninviting you. You're not going to Seattle.
No.
They're coming here. Oh, okay.
Riley Beers. You didn't start this.
Whoever did is staying out of the action.
Yeah, so was this planted by the Volturi or what?
They were passing around Bella's scent.
They were passing around Bella's scent. I was wondering what that was. Why are they after Bella though? Is it just her scent again because she's so like attractive for them?
You'd get yourselves killed, no way.
I wasn't asking for permission.
Edward.
They need all the help they can get.
Newborns won't know they even exist.
Yeah, the newborns won't even know about that. That's true. Oh, there's practice fighting. So is Jasper the strongest then? I was wondering earlier what kind of the power scaling is between them all. They show up in their wolf forms. That's not going to send a good message though, is it?
Never lose focus.
I'm liking how much bigger the stakes feel now. There's like a whole war coming, and we're getting a training montage before the war. How good is Alice if she can see the future? Yeah.
Some of you could get killed because of me.
But if they just convert her now, she's less in danger. Obviously, we don't know why the army are coming after her specifically, but if it's to do with her scent and like her taste, what they're all attracted to, why she's so desirable, would turning her stop some of this? And it would obviously keep her even safer. And she would be quite strong as a newborn as well to help fight them off.
The training the Confederate Army gave me was useless against the newborns.
The Confederate Army, wow. I always forget that. So he's quite old then, still. I thought he was the newest one. I thought he wasn't that old.
Maria was creating an army?
Okay, so he was part of an army before.
My ability to control emotions served her well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can control the emotions, calm people down, enrage them. That'd be useful when the other newborns come as well. It was his job to dispose of the ones that weren't any good.
I could feel everything they felt.
You can feel what they feel as they're dying. Wow. And it's just kids as well.
But I was her puppet till I found Alice. Now she's seen me coming, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Alice knew it would happen. That's not giving Bella even more doubt though. Is she wondering if she's a puppet? It's the choice of relationship. That's exactly what she's going through.
I want you to do something.
Oh, that looked like Victoria.
The newborn army. They're all her puppets.
Oh, they're all her puppets. Oh, they're Victoria's puppets. Okay, I thought it was the same one that was controlling Jasper back in the day, and she's coming back for revenge. But it's Victoria.
Edward and I are going to a campsite. Even if he carries me, they'll still pick up on our scent.
Your stench, however, is revolting.
Dude, you really don't want to start comparing stinks.
What he means is that your scent will mask mine if you carry me.
Okay, yeah. Can't she just like ride him as a wolf though, instead of him having to carry her?
So you can ask me to sit out of the fight too? Or don't you care about my safety?
It's not about Edward's safety, it's about the protection, is it?
You can love more than one person at a time. I've seen it. With Sam, Emily, and Leah.
Yeah, just being a poly relationship. No, Edward and Jacob hate each other too much.
I can sense how I make you feel. Physically.
I'm aware of the effect I have on women.
I am aware of the effect I have on women.
All I picked up was wolf stench. No Bella.
His accent coming in a bit there, it's like southern accent.
Actually, you and Edward will have the house to yourself tonight.
Ooh.
Well, the sister, I like.
She probably knows exactly how to smooth talk him because she can see what to do it, you know?
Things that you need to think about if you're going to be physically intimate.
Okay. don't have the talk.
Well, it's just as embarrassing for me.
I mean, she might need to talk about if she's home alone with Edward tonight.
Edward is old school.
Old school? As in, like, not till marriage?
I'm a virgin.
Okay. Liking Edward a little bit more now.
Oh, he got a bed.
Okay. I want to negotiate my own condition. I'll marry you. Just try.
So this is her condition. You know, I've heard about the CGI baby. Is the CGI baby Bella's baby? Does she get pregnant here? This is like exactly what the dad didn't want.
Stop trying to take your clothes off.
You want to do that part?
Not tonight.
I mean, you don't.
Bella, no means no. Stop trying to coerce him. Stop that.
I just want to be married to you first.
Really make me feel like I'm some sort of like villain trying to steal your virtue or something.
But it's not the marriage that he wants. It's because he wants her to be married so she's converted, so it's safer, so he can control himself.
I want to leave unbroken.
Or it is actually to do with the marriage as well, because he is obviously super old. He's kept on to that tradition a bit.
Things were a lot less complicated. We'd taken chaperone strolls and had iced tea on the porch.
Yeah, it's funny how quickly the way to like romance people has changed throughout the years.
This was my mother's.
Yeah, how old is that ring?
I promised to love you every moment forever.
Yeah, this is him like actually properly proposing. You know, he said marry me before, but he's actually down on one knee doing it now, giving a proper speech.
It'll be a last-minute decision.
Is Victoria a different actress this time? She looks different. Is it Bryce Dallas Howard? It looks like her.
Cullens have powers.
Does any of Riley's gang have powers?
This is supposed to be Cullen territory. We've been tearing it up, and I've never even seen them here.
Oh, she said that this is Cullen territory in Seattle.
Just saying.
I'm doing this for us.
Yeah, she's like manipulating him, but maybe he's seeing through it a bit.
Retaliation. I can't live in fear anymore, waiting for them to attack.
So she's playing the victim. I'm really surprised how much of a bigger role she's had in all of this. You know, at the start, she was just this kind of side villain from the first movie, but she's really come into her own throughout this.
You're not wearing your ring.
Well, I didn't want to risk losing it.
Or is that a sign of doubt? Risk Jacob seeing it, okay, yeah. Yeah, don't want Jacob to see it and then not have a clear head during the fight. We don't get to see the sparkle much, do we? This is great though, building up to this grand fight. I always love that kind of building up to a war the night before a war is always a fun trope. Oh, coming out the water like that, yeah, really building the tension. That hero shot of Edward there with the mountain behind him and then glistening in the sun, that was great.
No, it's fine. I'm okay.
What can I do?
Does she have a blanket? Her mum's blanket?
Forget it. She may need her toes someday.
Yeah, he wants to like snuggle up with her, he's got the body heat. He could turn into the wolf as well and be like a big fluffy wolf, you know?
Can you at least attempt to control your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly, he can read the mind, so...
I really get under that ice cold skin of yours, don't I? But she's in love with me too. She just won't admit it to herself.
Yeah, it feels like some of this would be so much easier if Edward could read her mind as well. It would get rid of any doubts that he has.
If she chooses me, would you try to kill me?
Yeah, would he respect that? Would he respect her decision?
But no.
You're just noticing like how big his sideburns are as well. So when have they been that big?
But you can give her a life. A human life. That's all I want for her.
Yeah, that is exactly what Edward wants for her. Yeah, that's true.
When you thought she was gone, how did you cope?
Yeah, he wants to know too, because he's going to eventually lose her. Obviously not die and lose her, but he's going to lose her physically.
We weren't natural enemies. And you weren't trying to steal my reason for existing. I might actually like you.
They are getting along a little bit here, maybe then. It's nice them having a bit of a heart-to-heart here. It feels like eventually it could evolve into a friendship. And is she like half awake listening in on this?
Where's Jacob? Did he already...
Not yet.
Why are they just in shirts, you know? They just spent all of that time showing how cold she was and she's just standing out here in a shirt.
This is the 21st century. I at least want to hyphenate my name.
Did Jacob hear that?
You knew he was listening.
Did he purposely do that?
Jake, stop!
Bella, let him.
Don't!
They were just getting somewhere and now they're driven even further apart.
Kiss me.
Really?
I'm asking you to kiss me.
Does she think this kiss will change her mind? And is Edward reading his mind at the moment, knowing this is happening? And even like the movie, it doesn't kind of tell you how to feel. The music here is quite grand. It's like, it's not making it feel like this is a bad moment. It's like both with Edward and with Jacob, the music makes you think it's a good moment.
That should have been our first kiss.
Yeah, it's a much better one than the last one. That's definitely mellowed him out. But what was Bella's intention there? I'm not sure. Was that to help her choose? Or was that to help mellow him out? Or what? Yeah, just look how frantic they are. The camera's super frantic with them as well. And then the colours are all calm and collected. And the camera's really still, zooming in on them slowly. Here we go. Yeah, look at how they like shatter when they die. That's kind of new, isn't it? Because that didn't happen before, I don't think. Is that because they're shiny, they're kind of made of crystal almost, and that's why the crystal heart was given to Bella? Yeah, look at this girl, she's just sitting there afraid, scared. She's not actually fighting. Maybe they did the whole crystal thing to make it a bit less violent, you know? Yeah, look at this. Vampire's helping the werewolves as well. Emmett helping him out. They can sense that she doesn't want to fight.
She only created you and this army to avenge her true mate, James. It's the only thing she cares about.
He's getting through to Riley a bit.
She doesn't love you.
Does Riley have any powers as well? Like, if he develops mind reading right now, he will know.
You're dead.
yeah, someone's coming into that was Seth, right? Oh, he just lost his hand.
You want me to feel the pain you felt when I killed James? When I turned him into ash.
Trying to get in her head. Get her to fight herself, yeah. Ooh. Riley's getting back up, now it's 2-on-1. Oh, his head's like shattering though. Oh, and it's just like the story of the Quileutes. Yeah, she distracted them. He's gonna see that she doesn't actually love him because she would have saved him. Oh, it sounded like some cracking. There we go. It's funny though, them being made out of crystal, it makes them feel more fragile, and they should be like more sturdy, shouldn't they? Oh, he's gonna burn her as well. And they're just flammable like that. Oh, okay. So Jane and some of the other Volturi are coming.
Pack needs to leave. Volturi won't honor a truce with the werewolves.
Yeah, so the Volturi will put the werewolves in danger. Is Edward gonna have to stop it and help Jacob? Okay, now it's just the rest of the walls.
Come on, Carlo's gonna take care of you.
The bones on the right half of his body are shattered.
Oh, wow. It feels like they're not coming to fight. Maybe they just want to... They're going to send a message.
I've never seen a coven escape an assault of this magnitude intact.
Yeah, there were no deaths on the Cullen side.
You missed one.
Yeah, they kept her alive. Are they going to adopt her into being a Cullen then?
Asylum in exchange for her surrender.
That wasn't yours to offer.
Are they going to have to fight over her?
Who created you?
You don't need to do that. She'll tell you anything you want to know.
I know.
She just wants to toy with her.
If Volturi had knowledge of Victoria, they would have stopped her. Isn't that right, Jane?
Don't think so. Is someone going to step in or not? There's nothing they can really do, but still.
Docs were breaking his bones.
Why did he have to butt in? I could have taken that tip.
I'll give it a rest, Leah.
Yeah, no, he was helping. This is bringing them all together, though.
Thank you.
It's the first time they've shaken hands, potentially. I wonder if they'll be infighting with the Cullens now because they let the Volturi kill that girl. Or if they kind of knew, did they know it was necessary? Do they think they could have taken on those four? But obviously there'd be repercussions, especially if they take out Jane, because she's quite high up.
He's not as perfect as you think.
I know who he is.
I can't tell if she's having doubts or not. Just like Edward, I can't read her. I can't tell what she's thinking.
I've always felt out of step. Like literally stumbling through my life.
But she feels safer and more normal when she's with Edward.
A little more difficult first. And maybe even dangerous. We have to tell Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
It's a good thing you're bulletproof.
Yeah, Charlie's definitely not going to go over well with him, definitely. So last movie ended with a proposal and now she's actually finally wearing the ring. Okay, so it's just ending there. I was wondering if it was going to be teasing the next as well. Okay, so that was Twilight Eclipse. It definitely feels like the movies are just like improving and improving. I'm really liking how this is even higher stakes now. I'm wondering where it goes from here because I know the next one is a two-parter and of course it's like the finale, it's the ending of everything. So I'm imagining it's like an all-out war with the Volturi. That's what it seems like. But I'm wondering how that progresses because I did think maybe that they would stop Jane from killing that little girl, and them having to fight Jane and them killing Jane is what starts the next war. That could have been what it is. It's like the Volturi going to war against the Cullens, but it does still feel like the Cullens, they're quite a small group to fight the whole of the Volturi, but I guess the Cullens and the Quileutes can work together again, so they would have like a bit of a bigger army. I'm not sure how big of an army the Volturi have, if they'd keep it quite small scale, but it is interesting to think where the next one will go. I'm guessing we'll see a marriage at some point, either right at the beginning or right at the end of the movies. I don't know if I'm looking forward to part one, because it always feels like part ones of this sort of thing, I always find the part one to be the weakest. Like Deathly Hallows part one, Dune as well to some extent. I always find like the part one movies, they're usually not as exciting because of course all of the action is saved for the end. They're based on books, so you're splitting it into part one and you're only getting the first and maybe a little bit of the second act. You're not getting like the complete structure, the rise and the fall. You're not getting that, are you? You're getting just the first half. So I'm hoping the next film, it does handle that well and it doesn't feel like it's just cut off randomly. Hopefully the film can stand alone on its own for some part, you know, and it's not like 100% reliant on the sequel, on the part two, to make the first one look better in retrospect, because that is always a problem that I find with the part one movies. So it was Bryce Dallas Howard who has been recast as Victoria this time. I'm wondering if there was any particular reason behind that. Maybe they wanted like a bigger star. I don't know how big she was at this point though when this came out. She obviously wasn't as big as she is now, but was she a big star, or was this, you know, one of these roles that helps launch her up, give her a bit of credibility? I'm not sure. You know, was it a choice to recast, or was it because of something that happened with the other actress? I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to know. But they might have wanted, like, I don't want to say higher caliber because that's kind of insulting to the previous one, but like a bigger actress, because she's got like more of a role in this film, because she was kind of like a side character before, and I am surprised how much she has been a part of this story, how important of a character she's been throughout these actually. And then of course with the whole Jacob and Edward thing, I think the movies, they have done a really good job of making it a genuinely difficult decision. I feel like people, you know, you can see both sides. You can see why someone would say no, Edward's better, no, Jacob's better. You can understand both sides and it works really well. And I think part of that is we had the first movie to set up the relationship with Edward, we had the second to set up the relationship with Jacob, and then this one is kind of the conflict between the two coming to a head, and it feels like it has resolved a little bit, but it probably still will carry on into the part one and the part two of Breaking Dawn, right? It was cool getting even more world building here in some of the history. We're learning about the history of the world here, you know, the backstories for some of these characters, for Jasper, for Rosalie, and for the Quileutes. We're learning some of their like spoken history that they were telling. That was really cool. And of course it's great seeing how it came back with Bella, her distracting Riley, just like in the Quileute story. That was cool. And then with the wolves, it seems like they kind of have like a hive mind, right? So I wonder how that works, because sometimes it feels like with hive minds you lose your personality because you're all sharing the same one, I guess. You're all sharing the same mind. Like, how does that work? It's really interesting that they have this kind of shared experience between them, and it's just the wolves, isn't it? It's not the people in the tribe who are not shifters. It's only the people that can shift, the wolves, the pack. But it is interesting, and it was a cool concept seeing Victoria, her building this army. Obviously we knew this army was being built, but we weren't exactly sure why. But it was Victoria she was manipulating them. She was manipulating Riley into doing this. That gave a good motivation for the army, I guess, because I was wondering, like, why are they after Bella randomly? You know, we know that Bella, she's quite attractive for all of the vampires because of like how her blood tastes, her scent, but would that be enough to start this whole war and to hunt her down? I wasn't sure, but of course it's because it was Victoria manipulating them. And the Volturi were there. They were just kind of observing. I don't know why that was. Were they observing because they knew they were going to attack the Cullens, and then then Jane was kind of using that as an excuse to antagonize the Cullens? Or was it just they were observing just to see what happens, you know? Because we did see one of the other Volturi, he was like, we should have stopped this earlier, why are we letting this get out of hand? But it's Jane, she's a bit evil, she's like trying to manipulate things, see how things go. We saw, you know, she tortured that girl, she used her like pain power to torture that girl, even though she knew that the girl didn't need to be tortured to get the information out of her. So Jane is definitely a bit like psychopathic. She just likes to toy with people, likes to put them on edge. And I think that kind of reflects in her power as well. I do wonder if the powers reflect the personality, or if your personality gets affected by your powers. That's something that's always interesting. That's something that's kind of like explored in Encanto, where it's like Bruno, he can see into the future and he's always anxious, and then Louisa, she's strong but she feels insecure about her strength. It's like your power can affect your personality a bit. And I do feel like with this movie, it did address one of my criticisms I had for the other two, the kind of the structure of it, how it kind of jumped into the third act. But this one, it felt like a good kind of natural progression. The stakes rose quite naturally into the third act. It worked quite well. I think the structure here worked a lot better than the others, and I think potentially part of that is this was much more focused on the conflict, where the others, they were focused on the romance, and it felt like they had the romance and then they needed to have a conflict. So it was kind of two separate sections almost. You have all the romance, and then like, oh, we need a third act, we need a climax, let's put some action in here. But this one, it felt much better, it felt much more natural. So I'm hoping in Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2 it can do that again. And then one thing is, like, I know they're good actors, but sometimes Bella and Edward, they can seem a little stiff. But like, I know Robert Pattinson is a great actor because I've seen him in The Lighthouse, in Good Time, in Batman, and then with Kristen Stewart as well. I've seen her in Spencer, she's amazing in that. So I know they can act, but sometimes it feels like maybe just the character's personality kind of hold them back. They can't really do much with the character because Bella, she is quite a flat character, and just like some of the line delivery, it can feel a bit bland. But it feels like that's kind of, there's not much for Kristen Stewart to actually work with in the writing sometimes. So I'm actually really looking forward to the next ones. If you're interested in getting those early, you can see those on Patreon. Part 1 of Breaking Dawn will be out right now, and of course next week will be Breaking Dawn Part 2 if you're interested in that. And then there'll be a week later on YouTube. I am interested to learn even more about the Volturi again with Arrow and with Caius. You know, there's still some characters they haven't really explored that much, especially with Arrow being this kind of leader. I really want to see what he's capable of, and hopefully some backstory for him. That'll be real interesting as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. If you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future episodes. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.